Guys, welcome to Better Bachelor. My name is Joker, and tonight we're going to be talking about Steve Harvey dropping some truth bombs. Now, even if you don't know who Steve Harvey is, he's a TV personality. He does game shows here, and he's kind of a relatively popular guy, I'd say. The reason why he's under attack is because he basically said the same thing I did in just a few videos ago. And if I remember to put it, I'll put a little icon that pops up right here that'll link you to that video about why men and women shouldn't really be friends. Well, Steve came out and kind of feels the same way. He says, and I'm going to read his exact quote, but he's basically saying, like, look, a lot of times guys will just be friends with women because they secretly hope they can get with them, or there's some attraction there, even if the women don't feel anything. Now, he didn't go on to, and he probably should have mentioned this, but women will also do the same thing with men. And even if there is no attraction initially, as I've read in the other article that I read, a lot of times something develops because there's just familiarity there. And of course, the last part of that is a lot of times her guy friends will speak badly about you if you're her boyfriend because they want to get with her. So let's go through a couple of fails, and then we'll get to the main story here because I want to talk a little bit more about it because he's being attacked for it. And some people are supporting him, but of course everybody's calling him, oh, you just can't handle being, and maybe you're a perv and all this other stuff. So first, a few losses. The city of Hamilton in Ontario says the bug vaccine appointments are now available for Black and other racialized populations, people of color, ages 18 plus who live in these postal codes. I believe it's Oregon or Washington State that is doing the same thing, basically saying you can get the vaccine or you can get the shot if you meet a certain skin color criteria. Now, I don't care if it was people of color that are allowed to get this and non-whites, or if it were whites that were allowed to get this and not people of color. Either way, we're going right back to 1960s here in the United States, and we're undoing all the work that we've done towards equalizing people. So, this is where governments have decided to go. And like I said, you may not care about politics, but politics is going to come for you. So that is a loss. Once again, we're going backward in time by 60 years now. This is from Twitter. A girl that's her name is That Blonde from Nashville says, him, can you pick me up from the bar? Me, yes. Me proceeds to take this man and the girl he picked up at the bar back to his place. A lot of times we talk about the 10-90-10 or 95-5 or the 80-20 rule about dating. This girl obviously was with a guy that she was really into, because not only did she pick him up from a pub, she picked the girl that he picked up at the pub and drove him and her back home. Instead of saying, no, screw you, I can't believe you did this to me, she took them both home. Why? Again, she's probably hoping that, well, they'd rather be shared by the most popular guys than have a lesser popular guy all to themselves. Hey, that maybe works in your 20s. When you get to your 30s and 40s, just prepared to do a lot of research about cats, cat litter, cat food, and becoming a cat lady. Another one here. This girl's messaging somebody else on Facebook, and it says, subscribe to my OnlyFans for full spicy photos and clips and more. You can also message me on there. And the guy replies, I Google big bobs and 12 trillion results, bobs being chesticles. She says, of girls you'll never know or be able to talk to, but okay. And he says, why would I even want to talk to women? I think that's a great response. This has been around for a little while, but I've always wanted to bring it up just to say to you guys because I think it's funny. But exactly right. Why would you pay, and I've said this many times, why would you pay for spicy videos on OnlyFans when you can just go to Google, or you can just go to Reddit, or you can just go to any of the other sites and see more than, you could push play on some of these popular sites, autoplay, and you could have a video playing in the background for the rest of your life and you'd never see a video twice. There's way so many to look at. Another loss, when you reject a guy's proposal saying you deserve better and he really manages to get someone better than you. It's going to happen. She could have had the opportunity to be a girlfriend, or a better yet, a wife, And she says no because she thought she could do better. She tells him to do better, and he does do better. That's got to suck. And the last fail, or second to last fail, sorry. This girl says, the time my prison pen pal came out of jail, effed me once, and never spoke to me again after 2 years of telling me how he loved me and wanted me to be in his life forever. I've got news for you. People that are in jail oftentimes are not the cream of the crop when it comes to society, so maybe do better in your choices. You kind of get what you ask for on that one. And last fail, the Oscars 2021. Ratings dropped to an all-time low with unwatchable show. This is something that I've always said to you guys that is important. The way that you vote in everyday life, the way that you make your opinions felt in everyday life is by voting with your money, your time, your energy, your effort. If it's an unwatchable show and you know it's going to be unwatchable because Hollywood has gone full woke, you vote by not watching it. If a movie is coming out and you don't like the theme of it, you vote by not paying for a ticket. If a girl is treating you poorly, okay, or you're on a dating app and you see a girl that she's really smoking, but she may have 2 kids and may have some other issues, you vote by not swiping on her, because if you do swipe on her, you're just giving her validation. She's not going to choose you anyway. Always vote with your decisions. And I think it's having some effect. Coke recently, even though they went kind of woke and had some diversity training where they were telling white people not to be so white, Coca-Cola has come out and they kind of said, well, maybe we're backing off that a little bit. I don't remember exactly the words that they were saying, but it's, well, we want to take a more neutral stance and we don't want to be involved in politics and this stuff anymore. They're backing out because a lot of more conservative or liberal people that are not part of that woke brigade said, hey, I'm going to vote with my pennies and my dollars, and I'm not going to buy Coca-Cola anymore. They're feeling the punch in the wallet, and so they're going to change their tune. Because let's face it, the only reason they said their other woke nonsense is to try to fit in with the culture. Well, as soon as you tell the culture, hey, if you're going to go that way, I'm not going to participate anymore, it will make a difference. Disney also backtracked on their Falcon and the Winter Soldier. They were kind of acting like they were going to go a little woke, and then they went the opposite because they noticed Disney revenue and a lot of people canceling. They're even talking about bringing Gina Carano back now, although I think she's moved on with other projects, because they're feeling the hit in the wallet, and people are voting with their dollars. So remember that in all things you do. Vote with your dollars, vote with your choices, your views, your web clicks. I mean, if there's a ridiculous headline, go to of an article you think you might want to read, go to an archive site like whatever it is, I forget what it is, archive.net or org. Just do a web archive search, and you can find a site where you can put in the link and then look at it, and it doesn't count towards the web page's views, because they're just writing trash articles because they know rage bait and clickbait gets them views, and that's really all they're after. They're not trying to share the news with you. They're just definitely trying to make money, and that's what's taken us down this awful hole. So this guy named Bilal Capone, I guess, dug up this clip from about 2010, and it's Steve Harvey basically saying, hey, you know what? I don't put myself in situations where I don't have female friends, or I don't put myself in situations where I have female friends, because he says, look, most of the time guys just want to be friends with a woman because they want to get with them. And, I agree. I do have, and I'm not saying this is in all cases, and I don't think he was either. He's just saying, look, a lot of times guys are going to want to be your friends because they're hoping to have an in. Let me read his exact quotes. I was going to play the video for you guys, but I think so many people have posted this up on YouTube and other places that I'd probably get a copyright notice. Anyway, but of course, the Sun, the reason why I'm reading it from the U.S. Sun is because, of course, they have an opinion about what he said, that it's sexist, obviously. So it says, shockingly sexist. What did Steve Harvey say in a viral video trending on Twitter? It's been viewed 2 or 3 million times now, I think. It says, during a 2010 interview with CNN's Frederica Whitfield Harvey, maybe a comment, or is that his wife? Oh, maybe that's his wife. No. I don't see. This is what happens when they miss punctuation. During a 2010 interview with CNN's Frederica Whitfield Harvey claimed that, okay, maybe it's Frederica Whitfrey, Harvey claimed that men and women can't maintain platonic relationships. Copy editors. They're cheap, and you're a major tabloid crap, so maybe hire someone. The video has resurfaced, and it's trending on TikTok and Twitter. TikTok is garbage. What did Steve Harvey say in a viral video trending on Twitter? In the interview, Harvey claims, all of my friends are men. I don't have female friends. I don't. I'm incapable of that. When Whitfield questions him on that statement, Harvey elaborates, well, I have a wife and I don't really have female friends because, okay, let's get rid of this myth right here. He says, you're an attractive woman. There are some guys somewhere saying, yeah, we're friends. But no, that's not true. He's your friend only because you have made it absolutely clear that nothing else is happening except this friendship we have. He continues on saying, we remain your friends in hopes that one day there'll be a crack in the door, a chink in the armor, and trust and believe that guy that you think is just your buddy, he will slide in that crack the moment he gets an opportunity because we're guys. I think he meant crack two ways with that statement, just a guess. Harvey finishes his explanation, seeking on behalf of all men. Warning, 99.9% of us think this way. Now, I won't go so far as to say 99.9% of men think that way, but two things here. Number one, he is right. A lot of guys will just be friends with women thinking they can slide in. My rule is I will, if it's not a long-time friend or a long-time acquaintance or somebody I've known for a very long time, and I meet somebody new, I make it pretty clear that if I'm going to talk to them, it's going to probably be a dating scenario. If it fails or she doesn't feel attraction or I don't feel attraction after meeting them and you talk for a little while, you've already made it clear, or usually one way or another, you've made it clear that there's some attraction there. Don't bother dating because you're already at an imbalance and you're already in a bad situation of just strictly being platonic friends. That's why you say, no, I don't need any more friends. I don't think we should be friends. I don't see you as a friend. I could see you as maybe a romantic partner or somebody to date, but I don't see you as a friend. For a lot of people, that's confusing. But let's face it, a friend is different than somebody that you are interested in romantically. And the second thing that I think is a good thing is Harvey saying, look, I'm not so great with this. I've had problems with it in the past. I've made the decision that I'm not going to be friends with women because many times I do become attracted to them and it becomes very difficult for me, or I just see them as someone I'd like to date, and I am married, and I think it's a good idea to keep me away from those pressures and maybe making a mistake. But of course, that makes him a bad guy because he doesn't have female friends, so somehow that's bad. And of course, because he can't just have women friends, that's also bad. Hey, I think the guy's at least being honest and saying, you know what, I'm not so great at this. I get myself in a little bit too much trouble. I'm going to avoid it. And I kind of look at it the same way as, like, if you're on a diet and you're trying to lose some weight, you don't go to ice cream shops. You don't go to parties where they have cake. You don't get near temptation. So he's just saying, look, if I get into that, I'm kind of tempted. Maybe he's had some problems in the past with infidelity, and he says, I'm not so good around that, and I'd like to stay faithful to my wife, so I'm going to avoid it. But of course, this makes him an awful person. They say as the video is resurfaced, Twitter has begun to debate Harvey's bold claim that men are incapable of only being friends with women. Twitter user Eli Sini posted a TikTok of the interview that has gone viral with his comment, quote, say, I only see women as sexual objects without saying it. And that's not true. That's not true. He's not saying that's how he sees women, as only objects. He's saying that oftentimes he can get attracted to women. Maybe he just finds lots of things enjoyable about women. It doesn't just mean that he wants to sleep with them. He never said that specific. He was talking about dating them or wanting to get with them. Now, get with them could mean multiple things. Next, a genius disagreed with Harvey's comment, saying, I have mad female friends that I don't want to F. I've always had mad female friends, even back when I was being a thought in the early 2000s that I don't want to or try to F. People let bedroom fun control them, and that is sad. Okay, maybe you're that 1 out of 1,000, that 0.01% that that 0.1% that he was talking about. But seeing as how you were he's saying himself he was a relatively easy guy in the early 2000s, Okay, maybe he's a good looking dude. Maybe he had a lot of opportunities. And look, if you're a popular guy that has all the opportunity in the world, yeah, you can be some friends with women that are, average looking or even better than average looking because you're a great looking guy who's athletic, and maybe you get to actually be with really, really attractive, popular, fun, entertaining women. Well, if you got 10 of them lined up for you, you can still be friends with other females because then you'd say, well, they're not up to my caliber. But again, this isn't how it goes for many men out there. They continue on. However, some users agree with Harvey's comments, like Jackie Marie, sounds like a woman, saying, some men are capable of being platonic friends with women, but let's be honest, most aren't capable of doing that. And that sounds, Jackie Marie sounds like a woman's name, Jackiee. So maybe she's a woman and she knows, because a lot of her, what she thought were platonic male friends, turned out to actually kind of want to be with her. I challenged a female friend or acquaintance, friend, whatever you want to call her. I challenged her to say, hey, message your guy friend that you think is only a guy friend and say, hey, why don't you come over? I'm kind of lonely. I'm a little in the mood. Why don't you come over? And see what he responds. And she says, oh, no, I wouldn't do that. It'd be awkward. I said, well, you know why it'd be awkward? Because he'd take you up on it. And she started to argue a little bit. I said, look, then do it. And then when he says, no, I can't believe that, blah, 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 you just say, oh, I was just messing with you, just having a laugh. Guys goof on each other all the time. She wouldn't do it. So I think she knows the truth of it. I'll leave a link to the Twitter video if you want to watch it, by the way, but it's basically what he said. It's very short. It's only a minute or two. What else has Harvey said about women? These comments were made by Harvey 11 years ago, but they're not the only controversial comments Harvey has made about women. In 2009, when one woman called into Good Morning America in to ask, good writing. I'm going to read it as it's written, guys. Sorry. I try to correct it midstream, and a lot of times you guys make fun of me for stumbling over my words, but when you have crap writers, this is what you get. In 2009, when one woman called into Good Morning America in to ask Harvey's advice on dating, he warned, if a guy is out for one thing, it's best to go for shallow, unintelligent women. You don't want to break this news to a really bright woman. Hey, I just want to do something to you this evening. He says, you want to find someone shallow, really simple, unintelligent that you can run this by, and they'll sit there and go, wow, that sounds great. What he's saying here is, hey, if you want to have a casual hookup and you're just kind of like, hey, let's hang out and do this thing. He's saying you want to hang out with a shallow, unintelligent woman. She's more likely going to be receptive to that. Where if you speak to a very bright, smart woman, she's going to say, no, I'm not into that. I'm not. You're gross. But if a woman is shallow and unintelligent, let's face it, she might be more susceptible or more interested in something like that. Not guaranteed, but that's what he's saying. He's like, hey, you don't want to try this on a really smart girl. She'll call you out for it. Just don't go for the smart girls. Again, I guess I can see what he's trying to say there. During another one of his segments on Good Morning America, one caller asked how to politely turn down a man. Harvey responded, you cannot stop a guy. Once a guy is interested in you, we lock in. We don't care what you do. And they go on a little bit more about it. I'll read the last part here. Harvey's second wife, Mary, opened up about his infidelity during their 10-year relationship. But when discussing infidelity, Harvey put the blame on the women. He said, why do men cheat? He asked. It's really because there are so many women out there willing to cheat with them. Okay, that's kind of a spicy take on that. No arguments there. But I have read stories on here about women, about literally articles written by women saying why it's good to be with a married man, why it's good or why the excitement of being with a married man is great, why casually dating a married man is great because he'll never get into you and never try to commit or lock you down. There are women that specifically look for married men. Now, it's not fair for him to say, hey, it's all on those women. That's a no-no. I mean, that's him basically saying he lacks self-control. But again, in saying that, it's obvious he realizes he lacks self-control. What is his way to resolve that issue? By not being friends with women, by not putting himself in temptation's way. But again, they're calling him, gross and bad and all these other things because he just simply says, hey, I'm not friends with women because I find that the temptation's too much. I get myself in trouble and I'm not going to do it. And most men feel that way. I don't know if I can say most men do, but I know a lot of them do. There's a reason why they have in the military. We used to call them Jodies, the guys that would hook up with the married wife of a guy that's either in the military or has been sent overseas. There's nicknames for it. There's Jodies. There's reasons why you call them orbiters, because they're revolving like a satellite, just hovering around her, waiting for the opportunity to make their moves. Vultures. There's names for these guys. It happens so often that they have words for it. So, of course, it happens much more often than not. All right, let's move on to the dating profile of the day. All right, this gal is 18 years old. She has blonde and blue hair. She is, shall we say, a BBW, a big, beautiful woman. BBW or BMW, one of the two. She says, I am a feminist 24/7. Shocking. I think it was the black eyebrows, blonde hair with blue stripes in it, and the gauges in the ears that gave that away. If you ask for spicy photos, the whole world will know you asked for spicy photos. I would like to meet the person that asked her for spicy photos. I'd like to see who that individual is. Or maybe she's just putting that on there as a humble brag, saying, hey, don't ask me. No one has, but please don't ask me. I don't know. I'd be surprised. But everybody has their own proclivities. So she says, I'm over emotional. Really? I'm cute AF. Debatable. I'm a fat girl. Okay. I'm pansexual. And I'm lame AAB. I don't know what AAB is. I'm not into the lingo, but she's lame. I constantly have a headache. Oh, you sound fun. And I'm sick of everyone. But hey, what can you do? P.S. I don't like sports. Shocking. She doesn't like sports. So she has a headache and she's sick of everyone, but would you like to go on a date with her? But hey, what can you do? Here's an idea of what you can do. Maybe not be around other people. Maybe find a way to be happy in your own life without trying to drag someone else into your misery to cheer you up. It's kind of like crabs in a bucket. That's why they never put a lid on crabs in a bucket, because every time a crab tries to climb out, the other crabs will pull him back in. I don't know if this is true or not. It is a saying. One of you gentlemen out there that knows about crabs, I'm sure will be able to tell me or link a video. But crabs pull other crabs back in the bucket, so they don't need a lid. This sounds to me basically like a crab trying to pull someone into her bucket. I'm miserable. I hate people. I'm emotional. I'm a big girl. I'm pan. I don't like anyone. I don't like sports. I'm a very unhappy, miserable person. Who would like to go on a date with me and cheer me up or make me feel less miserable or spend time with me? Answer, nobody. And if you have a profile like this and you complain because all you get is losers, if all you're attracting is losers, maybe there's something in your profile that makes them think, hey, we're a lot alike. Maybe we should hang out. Guys, if you'd like to support my work, links are below as always. If you have, thank you very much. Best way you can support me is like, comment, share, subscribe, check out my other videos, and join me over on betterbachelor.locals.com. I've got about 17,000 members over there, or followers, I guess you'd call it. Not all are supporters, but if you'd like to support my work over there, I would appreciate it. You get access to all my videos ad-free. You get access to post on the forums and all some good, great others, and private message me. We can have conversations, and you can just join on the forums. That's free, and you can post and read and all that good other stuff. Guys, I'll leave it there. This is Better Bachelor. I'm Joker, and remember, sometimes people don't like hearing the truth. And even if it's just the way you feel about something, if you speak out, you may get some heat for it. So this is why oftentimes I might recommend you don't always have to share your views of not dating or doing your own thing with normies or normal people that are not into this kind of sphere. Because a lot of times they're going to look at you as if you're the problem, when in reality, it may actually be them.